Hi. Hello, Yellow Hair. Thanks for being here if you're here. Well, if you're here looking at me, you are you are here. That just makes me think of the all that is all that is. So if you are here, you are part of all that is. I think that's really important. It's so simple, but it says so much. All that is all that is. So if you're here, you are part of the all that isness, the universal source energy, God force energy, the divine, the most high, however you title all that is. So how amazing, because if you weren't here, if you weren't part of all that is, you wouldn't be here. And if you're here now, as I'm learning, like we are like magnets. So if you're here now, you are like-minded to me. So therefore you are also on this journey, this quest, this one for a better world for everyone. Because we are like magnets to each other. Huh. Isn't that lovely? Hi. Hello, magnetic you. That's really kind of cool. What am I saying? What am I saying? I've had so many thought processes, so many things in so many times, but then also a lot of nothing, a lot of stillness, a lot of simply being, which is beautiful because now that I'm experiencing this just being, just I'm here. I'm here. And right now, and it's like there's no past, there's no present. Wow, I cannot tell you how, I don't know, freeing it is just here. I'm just here. I am just here now. Letting go all the past memories, all the past experiences, and also all the anticipation, all the wants, all the desires. Like, holy guacamole! I'm just here, and I'm having more and more moments of that just beingness, the just being here-ness, and I really like it. And I've realized though, through when I'm not quite in just the beingness, like I recognize this feeling now. I'm like, you know what? I like it. I want, I would like to be in more moments of just beingness. I'm just doing this now because I feel like it is also very centered because I'm not in the past, I'm not in the future, I'm not in any lows, nor really in any highs because it's quite almost neutral, but it's kind of, if it was leaning anywhere, it would be leaning towards the highs. I've not got a whirlwind of thoughts, and I've realized, like, previously that I have. Like, I've spent a lot of time overthinking in life and running over situations that might have happened just to remind myself. I was going to remind myself of that thing that happened that I did not like. That thing I did not like that happened in a quite a small increment of time, or even if it was over an hour, half an hour, an hour. So something happened in my life I didn't like. It was over a period of time. It was horrible. I didn't like it. But I have actually hung on to that situation and replayed it and replayed it and replayed it and racked up hours and hours and days and weeks and maybe months of time back in that space that I didn't like. But I wasn't actually there. It was just up here. That's why they say life is mental, because we can do that. And we can also do that with good things, but I think often we do it more so with the not so good things. And therefore we're perpetuating an experience that doesn't serve us, that we don't like. Why do we do that? where does that come from, that perpetuation of things like that? Is that part of the system, the indoctrination, is that part of our learning? I'm just wondering what it is, and I also know by asking the question, I'm actually evoking an answer, so I'm going to be interested to see when it comes in. And that's another thing is, now I can't remember who said it, but I know someone said, it might have been Abraham Hicks. It's probably a number of people, a number of different channels, avenues. Thoughts are things, or thoughts become things. Like we have assumed or been taught or trained that life is just what you see. And there is that whole, I'll believe it when I see it. And as a lot of us have been learning, it's actually the other way around. I will see it when I believe it. That's really important. Maybe even write that down because it's so important. I will see it when I believe it, because we can only see and experience. Ah, I just shrunk. Ah, what is that saying? Now, there's no, hang on, how's that? Oh, now I've got half a head. Let me try and fix this. There's no coincidences, so that would have been some message for me, which at this point in time, I don't know what it was. So did it look like I shrunk, or was something above me? I don't know. I'm going to think about that. Can I ask the question, Spirit? What was that about? I know it might seem a little thing, but everything you know is noteworthy. That's really important too. Oh, I should have my book or a piece of paper or something, because if I go off tangent, I want to remember. So let's just, have you got pen and paper? Let's just write down, if you can, I will see it when I believe it. And start thinking of, what are your belief systems? What things are you believing that's stopping you seeing things that could be good for you to see? And what was the other thing? Let me just write that down. Let me write that down, even though I have written that down in my books already. I will see it as not when, as I believe it. I changed that from when to as, because time is an illusion. And I've had some pretty crazy cool experiences with that understanding of time being an illusion. I have seen, like, let me just give an example. This one's quite profound, or it was for me, where I was in a car. I wasn't driving, I was the passenger. We were coming down a hill, going back up, this beautiful coastal area, and I looked to my left and I saw an eagle. And as I looked, it was like everything stopped or paused, and I could just see the eagle in slow motion, like the wings were kind of going, hang on, I can't fit in the video, we're kind of going like this, but it was in slow motion, and it was like everything was in slow motion. The car was in slow motion. I could see the eagle, and it was almost like I was up there with it, and the wings were going so slowly. It's like, how do I explain that? How do you rationalize that in a world where there is time as a thing, where we do think things are a certain way, but maybe they're not. But maybe as we open our mind to believing more, we will see more. Because I've definitely been opening more to potential. And I think that is really important too, is not expectation. I think from what I'm learning, even though you can kind of have an idea if you want, but be open to it coming in a different way, being more than what you might expect. And sometimes we don't really know. We might want something. What's that song? You might not get what you want, you get what you need. That's the Rolling Stones. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Get what you need. So that is kind of like that in life. We might think we want something, but what we want in, hang on, reality, reality may not be like if we got exactly what we wanted, we might not like it. But our higher soul self, who is actually here with us all the time, I'm finding, and I'm having wonderful conversations with my higher self. It's truly amazing. And we all have that connection. It's a matter of intention. It's a matter of exploring. It's a matter of asking. It's a matter of sitting still and quiet long enough to actually hear your higher self and connect with your higher self. And also, if you don't believe you have a higher self, well, you're not going to connect and you're not going to see it or hear it or be having lovely conversations with it, because you must open your mind to the belief, or at least the potential. And if you're finding that hard, just do it incrementally. Just maybe there's a higher self that I can connect with and who is here with me in every moment, every day, every minute, every hour. And if I can start opening to that, and I do understand there would be some fear, because we've had a lot of movies and books written about possession and demons and entities, and you might be afraid of opening up. What if it's something bad? Well, just have clear beliefs and boundaries. Just only those of the highest intention for myself and all others can actually enter my field, enter my energy. And believe that, because your belief will solidify that as well. So I found too, and I have explained this before. So our higher self, a good way of sort of imagining how it works is, so I think actually two, as I'm learning and things are being revealed, we kind of think our soul is in our body, but it's the other way around. Like the body is more so a projection from the soul, as I am discerning and allowing the information to come in. So our higher soul self is always there around us. As I am exploring and journeying and learning and expanding, I'm talking about it because really there's nothing more fascinating, wonderful, and I almost feel like nothing else matters except this learning about the real reality and who we are and our origins. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. I think we should just stop the world and go, hang on a sec, pause, press pause. Somebody press pause, please. I don't think we got this right. I don't think we're actually doing things the way we potentially should. So how about we just pause the world and look at everything and actually really discover ourselves? Because if we've got, and we do at this present point, people who are still starving and suffering and in trauma, and we still have massive generational trauma cycles through families where children are not born into that safety and love and nurturing in certain generational lineages. And it's not that you can blame their parents, because they didn't know any better, because their parents didn't know any better. And it's That's probably not the right terminology, but just for now, let's utilize that. And their parents did, and their parents didn't. So this not understanding oneself has traveled through the lineage, and we end up with children being born into families where there's drug abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse, psychological abuse. And I feel like it's important not to blame, because potentially that is what their parents endured, and so on and so on and so on. So how do we actually help our brothers and sisters, because we're all family, to stop that cycle and shift it to something better? And I keep going back to the understanding that, and the quantum physicists are talking about this a lot. It's very interesting. So this reality, just for example, one thing is, if you were to take all the mass that makes you physical, it would fit on a pinhead. Or also, there's 94% chance, our lovely scientists, quantum physicists have been saying, that this reality isn't as real as we thought. And there is this interesting conversation about simulation or hologram theory. There is an experiment that was done quite a while ago. I can't remember the original scientists or group or wherever they came from, but the double slit experiment, where they found that protons, when fired through two slits, they assumed or expected it to go through the slits and land on the assessment screen. This is me paraphrasing, through the two slits, but it didn't. It turned into a wave of potential and splattered the back of the assessment screen. I mean, look this up yourself. It's fascinating. Until they went, hang on a sec, that's not what we expected. And they were like hyper-focused and, well, this is what we think it should do. And therefore, that's what it did. So this theory of the potential, the atoms, neutrons, protons will form depending on the observer's expectations. It's very interesting, and this is me as just a layman or laywoman, just trying to pass on information, hopefully well enough, but perhaps if you are a little bit curious, go look it up yourself and find out more. As I find too, it's always good, don't just take someone's word for anything. If something twigs your interest, or even you're not sure if it's a thing, go find out more. Find out more from different avenues and come to your own conclusion through your own critical thinking. Because I do feel like, unfortunately, often in life, people can hear something and kind of run with it, and that becomes their belief, even though they may not have fully investigated to find out if it's actually real or not. But people have died for that. People have died for their beliefs. People have killed for their beliefs. I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think that's something we should be doing, because this is a wonderful, magical, miracle experience that sometimes I feel like is lost on us as the mass populace. Like, holy shamoly, look at this wonderful, bountiful, amazing, full of life world, and look at everything, even that as humans that we've created. Like, let's just for a moment, look at just the good stuff. Okay, let's not look, we've created a lot of bad stuff too, but I want to shift from that, because I do understand where my attention goes, energy flows, and whatever I'm looking at grows. Oh, and that's where I'm at. Okay, yeah, that's where I'm at the moment, is continually shifting. And for me now, I very rarely am focused on a negative, and I'm almost transmuting straight away in something and not getting caught in the drama and pulled into the pit of despair. which is great, and turning to what I do want. And I'm just turning to that, turning to that, turning to that every day, like in my dreams, even when I wake up. As soon as I wake up, I'm pouring into the potential of this wonderful, beautiful world that I can already see, and I know it's there. Because if it wasn't there, I wouldn't have thought of it. I wouldn't be imagining it. So that gives me not just hope, it gives me excitement, because we are actually shifting now into the creation that we actually came here to create, where we don't need these trauma cycles for people to learn over not just years or decades. Like, it's been taking us as divine souls in the reincarnation process, literally lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes to work through, and I'm using the word work with this one, to work through these trauma cycles through the generations and the ancestral, you could call them curses, as we pass them down, or some do, through their lineage. But now that's shifting, and what's very exciting is there has been, over a period of time, even though time's an illusion, it's just a blip, we've actually already shifted, and now reality is catching up with our energetic shift. And I'm seeing so much evidence of that when I look out on YouTube, in real life, with what people are doing. The energy has shifted, and the evidence of that is emerging, and I'm so excited. And I do have a theory that if everyone, everywhere, all at once, turned in every moment that you could catch yourself, whenever you catch yourself focusing on the negative storyline, go, oh yeah, that's right. Wherever I put my attention, I'm fueling it and feeding it and growing it with my energy. So if I don't want that, what do I want? And constantly turning yourself to what it is you do want. And doing that holistically, as in the world that we all want to live and exist and grow and thrive and enjoy and immerse in. So, 2333 on my clock. Okay, I'm going to go. I might do another vid later because there's something else I wanted to talk about, pretty much related on that. I think I'm very much focusing my attention on planting the seeds of change, which actually, no, I'm going to catch myself. They're already planted, so I'm focusing on watering the seeds of change that are already there. Okay, so thank you. Thank you, wherever you are, for being here. I hope you're having a beautiful morning, arvo, evening. I love you so much, and I will pop back into Mars.